Boys, big news this week. Everybody's favorite browser, Arc, it's dead. The browser company has mentioned they're no longer developing Arc to focus on,
The
is it
browser.
Dia? Dia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
great
Which
name.
is their new, let me get my head around this. It's like a new AI agent driven browser.
Bro, it's a new browser, the boys.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
What?
So I read this article. I'll give you a quick TLDR. They've
Please.
decided to drop Arc because the architecture that they used to build Arc, they couldn't achieve what they want to do in Dia, which is going to be an AI first browser. So, trying to, however, whatever that means, let's be honest, it's a whole agentic experience. So I think the concept is you're going to get your context around who you are. So it's interesting how that's going to play with privacy and stuff. But they've built also on top of, they were using on top of Chromium, which is basically the engine that is the foundation for most things, Safari, Chrome, and the Chrome team built Chromium, but they open source that and everyone can use that. But there you can see here, Arc isn't just a Chromium fork. It runs on custom infrastructure called ADK, which is the Arc Development Kit. And that's one of the reasons everyone's like, well, if you're not going to support Arc anymore, just open source it. And they're like, whoa, it's not that simple, boys, because it's really hard. It's hard to use. But I feel like it's a little bit, it's like, nah, that's ours. We're not going to share that with everyone.
Yes.
It's a cop
Yeah.
out, I reckon. But to be fair, you spend heaps of money developing. I don't think it is it's your IP, cool, no worries. And I think
Like you don't owe anyone anything, but at the same time, you do have to consider if you're going to open source things or make things open or deprecate them, that if you've got users, you should probably try and make that open so people can take the ball and run with it. I don't know. Did you ever see that Spotify car thing? It's like a little screen you put in your car. And then Spotify was like, we're shutting it down. You won't be able to use it. And then some engineering team inside Spotify did the right thing and said, actually, we can make this open source and you can do whatever you want with it. You can hack it. And that's sort of how like an end of life product should be. Obviously a browser is a bit different. It's not a physical product that you paid for.
I think they're not end of lifing it though, because they're going to continue on with another thing. I think that's where the risk is, maybe. But I think because I'm building Dia, they're like, no, we don't want to give away the secrets. So they're dropping a few. Yeah, they're not using Swift UI and TCA. That's one I actually don't know what TCA is.
TCA.
Yeah, TCA. But they want to make, so they're re-architecting, basically chucking it all in the bin to start again. I'm sure they're going to take a lot of stuff. I never jumped on the Arc train, to be honest.
Really?
Like I said, Chrome all
I
the
never
way.
did either.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been such a fanboy. I mean, I guess me loving the content thing, I just think they'd crush their content game, which is what I was going to ask you boys about. What the frick was the business model of Arc? What was the play for browser company here? Because this is a lot of freaking people, bro.
It's crazy how pedestal they were as like, this is how you market your company, to then seem in this regard so tone deaf to their community. This is like worse than Sonos. Like Sonos was pretty bad. They just went like, we're going to roll out a new thing, and if none of your systems work, that's fine because you don't need to depend on our hardware. Kind of like that. This is like, it just seems like they're missing the mark. But I would say they don't owe anyone anything, realistically. They can do whatever they want. If they want to build an AI browser and they've got a vision, they want to do that, great. I just think the way they've gone about it is a bit like weird. All of this marketing messaging just seems so like flippant about things, as opposed to like just being really clear, like, sorry, but we're doing it this way now. We think this is the best way.
What do we think was the play though? Like, because like I'm trying to work out, is it just bulk users in an app and then we can leverage that?
Yeah.
Like I'm as a not coming from startup world, I'm trying to work out what the business model is.
I gotcha. So Chrome, Google was almost forced to sell Chrome, but there's no buyers for it because no one can invest the money into Chrome to make it worth it because you can't charge for a browser. Okay. And I imagine browser company encountered the same thing with Arc. They're like, there is no money here. But if they can do your work for you with a browser that has this big wrapper of AI and you say like, I log into Clipflow and I add the link to the project and I have to go get a project link from recording files from Riverside and put it in. I do that once and then the browser says, dude, I'll do that for you every time you end a call in this app.
Yeah.
You can charge money for that. So I reckon they just hit a wall where they were like, we can't actually keep the business going.
Yeah. So that is very, very key. But there's 2 points here. Different between startup world bootstrap actually have to make money and startup world VC just get chucked heaps of cash and promises. So they probably don't even have a thing. They're just trying to get eyes. But one key point from this article was they believe that the browser, it's not the operating system that you use. The browser is the operating system, which is 100% true. Think about where you spend all your time. It's the browser.
The browser. Yep.
So if you control the browser, you control everything. So
Yep.
even if you look at Chrome trying to roll out the new Gemini stuff through, or the AI, and you know that you can charge for AI, everyone knows I pay for AI. Like it's not free. So by being the browser company, it's like they build all those tools, just like Daryl said, it does work for you. And, it is the operating system.
Yep.
That's where they run. And it's the same now. You become a Microsoft. Now you become a Google, right?
Yes.
So you can see here. So my wife, who doesn't work in tech, was living in desktop Chrome all day. My 6-year-old niece was doing school entirely in web apps, right? So meet us in the browser. That's it. So they want to control that, and if you control that, you control everything. So that's the play, and that's where they're gonna make money.
That's essentially what Google saw 15 years ago, 10 years ago when they started making Chromebooks, right? Because they were like, this can be the entire everything you need. And obviously, it's not quite there yet because there's a lot of things that a Chromebook couldn't do that computers need to do. But it's only going to get closer and closer to that. And I reckon, the user behavior is worth a lot of money. And they may have even just not wanted to contribute to Google's potential to destroy their business, because Google making the best browser using Chromium's data, like I'm sure there is some way that Google knows how Chromium is being used and how users are using Chromium back to them, and you're feeding back into their user behavior. You're training whatever their model is, which is like a browser use thing that has all the history of everyone who's ever used Chrome and how they use browsers to then navigate web pages, and you're helping them, and they're just going to keep making their browser. They put Gemini in their browser, like.
I'll push back on the Chromium thing. I don't think that is true with Chromium because it's the rendering engine underneath. I think you build your browser on top of it. So I don't think there's any feeding back. They will definitely be using Chromium in Adia. Like you're not going to build it. It's too complex. People have talked about the architecture of how hard it is to render. And then that's the beauty of the web, is that a tool built today or a website built, 30 years ago will still run today. Whereas try that with any app. It won't. Right? So because HTML, they backwards support everything. So that piece of code that is Chromium is insane. And like, you don't go and try and build that.
Funny about that is a website built today wouldn't show in 30 years because all the React packages would be out of date. It'd fucking break. But an old HTML website still going strong. It's like old Toyotas, just like still running.
If you compiled it, bro, just chill out. If you compiled it and pushed the deploy, it'd be sweet. You'd be fine. Just chill. So good. So I mean, realistically, I think this is a great move for their business. Like I think, and I think the problem with Arc is like, look, just in this room here, like, can't pull much from it, but like one of us out of 3 use it. They may have a very vocal community that says like, blah, 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 but if you read the stats here, like only 4% of you people use this feature, and this is that constant
this is
thing.
Classic like, internet. Can
we just chop this because no one uses it? But it's like those people there are super vocal because they're like
the 5 people that use it are the loudest people in the room.
I love this is the best app in the world, and it's like but no one uses it, brother. Like everyone uses Chrome or Safari. Like there's like 0.0000, but they're so vocal, and it like gets these massive articles, which can be a pro and a con for them. But I think that's the thing, and because they were so content driven, like community, but they actually weren't community driven. They didn't really.
Yes.
Or they do care, but they're just like, well, this is a bigger move for the long game.
Yes. Sometimes if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, Zach, just after you're home on the internet. That's why they're making the decision, and they don't care about what the public backlash will be. Look at those faces, and the CEO and everyone would just be making that decision based on what's going to last longer, and the Arc browser wasn't going to last. I think that's like how this all boils down to. I think they said it in weird ways, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's the risk of building in public.
Yeah, I think long run we'll see. It'll be cool, and they're going to build like everyone's heading that way. Like there's browser use, which is just building so that the AI can use the browser, and that's what they're trying to do. It's like, what can we build? How can we build a browser that can be used by AI, so that it can learn about you and then do the stuff you need to do, so you don't have to do mundane tasks over and over again? Because that would actually be really powerful. It's like,
Yes.
hey, I'm doing this
Oh,
copy
huge.
paste between tabs. It's like, can you just do that? It's like, oh yeah, do you want
That's
to
what I
do
want.
make
Like you
clear?
said, the update video descriptions, add a link with other links in the video descriptions. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
set up an innate thing and do a whole automation APIs. Why can't I just do it once and then tell something, go and do this for all my videos? There's a list of videos on the internet. Just go click
Yeah.
through them. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there
Literally say
one
like,
day.
follow me now, and just teach it.
Yeah,
Yes.
record the
Yeah, it's
steps.
coming. And I'll give it to them at Arc, man. Like they did make a nice looking product. So if they can actually deliver on that functionality with how they've built a nice looking product, and I enjoy using Arc as like a product that's just clean and fun, there's an opportunity there. Because right now in AI space, and especially in browser use space, all of it's GitHubs, all of it's, you know what I'm saying? Like no one's done the version that my wife can use.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
so it makes sense. And even though this looks like a lot of people, it's not. You know, like it's actually not for what would be required to do that product well. So it makes sense for them to
You
pivot on it.
reckon?
Dude, I mean,
Brother.
No, he means
a
to
lot of
take
people,
to
mate.
take on AI, Gemini, and Chrome. That's not. A
oh
lot of
yeah,
people.
sorry, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. This is a
Yeah.
lot like
That's
this
heaps
is a
of
lot of
people.
people, but like you forget
To
you're not looking
focus
at
on
Google.
Arc and Dia with that many
Yes,
people
yes,
and
that's
compete
what I
with
meant.
Google,
Yes, yeah.
you're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crap
Yeah.
ton of people. Like it'd be crazy to say our team's that big one day or whatever, but in terms of, I guess, what perceivably the challenge is as a noob, because I'm a noob in this stuff, it's like, oh, surely it's more people than that
I almost reckon
required.
it's too many people right there, my man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. I mean, that's good.
I reckon for what that. Yeah. Look, that's me. There's a lot of people there doing marketing and sales and
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think
people
the whole
culture
first
and
four
just
rows,
all
these
sorts of-
guys here, they're all marketing. The back row is the
There's like
engineers.
7
You can't see
people
the engineers, you see half their heads.
Yeah, the engineers are like
rows.
7 of them,
And
and
they're
then the
happy.
rest of them are
Yeah.
just
Honestly,
Happy to be out
uh,
of sight.
yeah. Awesome.
crazy man, crazy times.
Excellent. We'll see what happens, eh?